Alrighty, we've made it to 1.9 Minecraft, one of the most beloved Minecraft updates since they added loot boxes to the game. Let's start with the easy stuff. Course Route is cool and a very welcome addition to the end, providing a food source for players and having a niche teleportation side effect. It keeps this food item interesting. The dragon head also gets added in this version, and what can I say, it's a big floppy mask. Of course it's a good addition. Alright, you didn't come here to hear me yap about dragon heads or purple blocks, even though I think the purple they chose is kinda ugly. You know it and I know it. You came here to hear what I have to say about the new combat system, which we still have to this very day. Minecraft was always meant to be an easy game. Let's get that straight. Minecraft, while confusing, once you figure it out, is very easy to play. The mobs are simple, but each have unique traits that make them interesting. Zombies can call upon zombies. Endermen are early game threats, and somewhat to the mid game, but are easily mitigated if there's water nearby. Diamonds always spawn at the same level, structures always spawn the same, and the only thing that changes is terrain. Mobs don't learn from you, the game isn't ever going to get harder, unless you don't play it for a while. That consistency is what makes Minecraft attractive and unattractive at the same time. You know exactly what you're going to get, and you don't want it to change. Do you see how restrictive that can be? That's probably the reason as to why people go through 2-week Minecraft phases. People want to play Minecraft, but rarely does anyone ever add something to Minecraft as a mod that 1 makes it interesting and 2 still feels like Minecraft. The inherent problem is because you can ask 2 different people these 2 questions and get 2 different answers. Alright, so Jonah, what makes Minecraft fun for you?
Honestly, one of the things has to be is just like how flexible it is. There's a lot of things you can do in it, and there's no wrong way to play it, which is nice. Like, and especially if you have a group of people, you can have people who do a different job here and there. Some people work on food, some people work on, different mechanisms, mining, fighting animals, PvE kind of stuff. There's just like a little mix of everything. And on top of that, just the insane levels of modding available to it as well. That allows for it to just be like really just become any game you really want it to be.
Nice. And then when it comes to modding, what makes a Minecraft mod feel like vanilla to you?
When it doesn't like feel jarring, like it feels more like an update than like this big new feature. And even better is if it can work with more of the already existent vanilla materials, not trying to introduce new ones constantly. I feel like that's like a big thing in the modding community that ends up being a big error on their part, is trying to introduce new stuff as far as materials go all the time.
What makes Minecraft interesting to you?
The building. It's always
Just
been
building?
the building, because it's not just because there's like hundreds of different types of blocks, and there's always material to make. For me, it's always been building, because it's always like taking someone's idea and making it better, or just like making it my own, like the oil rig thing in Isaac's server, or like it's just small ideas from me. It's been easier than like a game like Raft, where it's customizable, but it's not, and like you can build, but it's not like yours. It still has a base of the game to it.
I know you've played with mods before. How do you feel about what makes a mod interesting to you, for Minecraft at least?
Either adding something to the game that was thought of and like not incorporated. Like, I really like the Copper Golem mods, just because I think those are really funny. But I also just like fun and really creative mods, like horror mod, like I forgot who it was, but the guy who made the horror mod, the night something it's like a cave dweller stalker. Original ideas, and like it just being fun to play, like you look forward to crafting those things or making those things or using those items. I was a big fan of Crazy Craft back in 2013 and 2015. During that era, that was my favorite mod pack to go through.
Do you think it's ever possible for a mod to still, 1, make it interesting to play, and for it to still feel like Minecraft?
That's a complicated question, because it can definitely like still feel like Minecraft, but like once you like Crazy Craft, it didn't feel like Minecraft anymore. That felt like a whole other game in itself. It's not a difficult line to have, but it is a fine line that mod developers have to have before like adding too much of their own content to make it feel like obviously the game is still Minecraft. It's not something like Roblox where you have a platform to develop a game on, but it is incorporated in enough to be able to follow that fine line. So if a developer can follow that line of adding to the game to make it more fun, yeah, it's easy to see that game is still Minecraft and you can still see it as no more than a block game.
You see what I mean? It can be very hard to provide for a diverse audience and still please all of them. You could argue it's impossible without humongous updates that touch on every aspect of the game. Oh wait, the Minecraft essay isn't for another 2 months. Let's get back on track. The 1.9 combat changes were kinda good and kinda bad. It slowed down combat by adding cooldowns, which upended the entire PvP community to the point that it's still split today. This wasn't the greatest idea in hindsight because at a time where Minecraft was speeding up transportation and making the world bigger with more biomes to explore, they made combat slower and more deliberate. They changed the combat but didn't change the enemies you'd fight. Now, don't get me wrong, with this new combat change, dealing with, other players would be interesting as they'd have more abilities and more tricks up their sleeves. But the mobs didn't change at all. Mobs were a bit scarier because, you essentially could just hard focus one and just spam click, and then the other ones could still give the jump on you. But with Sweeping Edge, that becomes, well, now you're protected just in this whole hemisphere in front of you. And then combine that with the fact that the mobs just keep getting easier and easier. I'm pretty sure they nerfed like different mobs over the years. And the only mob that didn't really get nerfed too much was the Creeper because, well, it's Minecraft's Grim Reaper. In my opinion, they totally could have combined the attack strength mechanic, which is, the cooldown period, to a single weapon and maybe adds a new weapon like a longsword or a mace or something, I don't know. Point is that this change was massive and I feel like Minecraft developers realize this because after all this time they still haven't added this mechanic to Bedrock. But that's just a theory. I'm sure there's some article out there that'll be ready to prove me wrong. Shields were added and they worked a little differently. The shield actually only mitigated damage. You still took some damage from other sources and I'm not sure if I like this rather than what we have now, but I'm open to hearing what you have to say. And that's all I have to say about 1.9, so let's move on to 1.10. This is the Frostburn update and they added polar bears, husks, strays, magma blocks I think, and that's basically it. So, cut!